Hey guys, so I was going to share my birth story I was going to write it down and share it on Instagram, maybe Facebook, because I personally read a lot of stories when I was pregnant, and I found that it helped me sort of envisage my own birth, and it sort of made me feel a little bit empowered to read other positive stories. And so I thought that I would share mine. And also I'm starting to forget my story. And I feel like by documenting it like this, it's like a really good way of remembering. So sorry if I'm rambling a bit, but I'm going to try to remember as best as I can. Already little details I might be forgetting, but yeah, here we go. And we have a little man here, a little munchkin. He's just playing, so maybe he will join us. Let's see. Just before we start, I wanted to mention that I decided to have a home birth, or I wanted to have a home birth mainly because my own mom, I have 3 brothers and a sister, and my mom had 4 of us at home. This was probably, quite some time ago. So that was one of my main inspirations, was my own mom, and the way she described home birth was in a very positive way, and that really sort of instilled some strength in me to go for it. And also, as well as that, I find Holland, well, it's a fact actually, like Holland is one of the most forward thinking I want to say like countries to where you should have a baby. It's like 50% or so of women have or opt for a home birth. It doesn't always happen, of course. There are many things that can interfere, or many things that are unpredictable that can change during labour. But I still think it's fantastic how the system works here, and they really support women in having a home birth. So that really was the second thing that really filled me with a lot of confidence. Okay, on the 9th in the morning, my contractions started, but that whole evening before, I was actually having to get up every hour to go to the toilet. Like, I don't know why, it sort of started feeling like I was getting my period, like it was sort of light cramping, and I was like, right, okay, I feel like this is it. But I didn't tell Jay, I didn't wake him or anything. I just let that whole night, that evening go past. Didn't sleep very well, but in the morning, I said to Jay, I feel the baby's coming. And we were both quite excited. Jay cancelled that day at work, and I think for the rest of the week, because we both knew this was it. So the contractions started, and I can honestly explain them. For me personally, it's like, it was really at the front of my belly, and it was like mild cramping. As a side note, I just want to say that I actually, I don't want to go off too much, we'll talk about that later. I did a hypnobirthing course, online, 100% online, and I found it extremely beneficial. Really, a lot of it's backed up by science as well. And I found that super helpful. So what they explain is that you should try to go about your day as normal. So that's what we did. Yeah. So me and Jay, we got up, we decided to go for a walk. I've been walking like every day basically especially during my maternity leave. So we got up, started walking, we walked to our local bakery, got a coffee, and by this stage actually I had an app where you could time your surges. I hope my battery's not gonna die. You could time your surges. So we used that app, and what it does is it will tell you when you're in established labour. So we walked to the coffee shop, and not coffee shop in Holland, but cafe. Wasn't going to go and smoke a spliff. Yeah, and I was pressing the app. I was showing that I had a surge every maybe 5 minutes, and it was getting quite strong. I had to stop and like lean on Jay and just breathe through it. The breathing is number one, honestly. Learning how to breathe properly. More about that later. So then we got coffee, we had a coffee, we were going to walk to the supermarket, Albert Heijn, and buy ingredients to make an apple cake. And I started walking, and I was like, no, I can't go. Can you walk me home? Jay walked me home, and then he went and got all the groceries to make apple cake. So he came back and we made apple cake. It was quite funny, like I was peeling all the apples and like having surges, contractions, they call them surges in hypnobirthing. And we made the cake, I ate the cake, and this ball literally was the best purchase of my life. Like Jay asked me, John, should we buy one? And I was like, no, I won't need one. I want to be on the floor. I'll probably want to squat. No, I needed this. This saved my life. Like I sat on this ball, I think probably most of my labor. It was the only position that was comfortable. Just being upright with like a tilt in my pelvis, that just released everything so much. And then made apple cake. We're starting to get stronger. I decided to use the TENS machine. Just really quickly, like personally, I don't think the TENS machine helped me that much because my contractions were really felt at the front of my belly. And apparently with the TENS machine, if you have a lot of back contractions, they're fantastic. But I was very glad that I had it on hand anyway. So we later on, it came to the evening, and I was in established labour according to the Freya app from the hypnobirthing course that I did. And I was like, all right, this is it, here we go. So I was in established labour. We called the midwife came over and she checked how much I was dilated, and she told me, I think I was only like 2 or 3 centimetres, maybe even less. And then she asked me if I wanted to do a sweep, and I thought about it. I used my brain, as they tell you in hypnobirthing. I decided I was going to go for it. I was going to do the sweep. So I did the sweep, and literally about 5 minutes later my water broke. And with the water breaking, it's not like how you watch it. You're not just going about your business and your water breaks and everything, like it's like a big pool. No, my water broke, and there was water like basically coming out for the whole labor for hours. I was sitting on that ball with a towel underneath me, and yeah, I just really started focusing on my breathing. I had to turn the TV off because we were watching a nice movie. I turned that off, and I just really had to focus. Should we come here? Opa! Here we are, talking about when you were born. So, like I said, we might have to do this in 2 parts. So my water broke, and then it was all guns a-blazing. The midwife left, and we scheduled another appointment for her to come back in 5 hours. So for someone else to come, because she was going off duty and another midwife was coming on. So she came back after 5 hours, and she checked me like to see how many centimeters I was dilated, and she told me I was 2. So basically went from 2 to 5 hours later, still 2. So it that really made me quite disheartened, because things were not kind of going as quick as I had hoped. I didn't really have anything to base it off of, but I guess I had thought, oh, maybe it will go a little bit quicker. So she left, and then the midwife said to me she would come back again later. So it came into the night, I went to the bedroom, we dimmed all the lights. We had like crystal salt lamps, which I can't recommend enough. Like, it's just a really dim light, and I had about 2 or 3 of those, which really helped, because any bright lights, it's just triggering sort of a it's not relaxing for you, and I wouldn't recommend candles during that time really. So salt lamps were a nice option. We went to the bedroom, we stayed there, and I sat in the ball and leant on the bed. And I wish I had videos or photo to show you, but we didn't really do that. We didn't really take anything, any footage. So I hope I can describe as best as I can. I was leaning over the bed, on the ball, sitting on the ball, and I completely forgot a massive part of this. I wanted a birth pool. So we actually had a birth pool. I set up in the living room, exactly where I'm sitting actually, and I wanted to get into the pool. I was just hoping, like, when can I get into the pool, because warm water is just one of the most amazing pain reliefs, natural pain relief you can have. So I couldn't wait to get in there, but the midwife kept telling me to hold off, because if you get into the pool too soon, actually your contractions can stop. So that we were waiting to get the go ahead. So there was a phase then I was on my own. I told Jay to go to sleep, so he went to sleep in the bed, and the midwife told me, you need to lie down and get some rest, because it's been a long day, and yeah, she said you need to lie down and have some rest. So I put the TENS machine onto my lower back and thought maybe that would help, and I lay down. But lying down, it was just even more intense, and that's like the best way I can describe it. It's just super intense. It wasn't a great position for me, but I was really tired, so I decided I was just going to stay and lie down. Jay was asleep beside me, and yeah, it was like quite a long period on my own. So I really had to dig deep. That's how I can describe it. You really have to dig deep, and I also want to mention, like, there's a controversial topic sometimes about talking about pain, and for me, I think it's something openly we should discuss. Like, as human beings, I believe that pain is part of the process. Pain is part of being a human being, and like physical and emotional. And during my pregnancy, I really learned to get my head around the thought of pain and how to manage pain. And I felt that really helped me, just knowing that you can do this. Like, it is momentary, it's super intense. It's not like a physical sharp pain. It is just something very deep inside you that you experience. Everyone experiences differently, but it's not something to be afraid of or shy away from. I feel if you get your head around that, I feel you can dig deep and really focus on being with that pain, and using the breath really helps. Then about 5 hours later, I really wanted things to keep going, or to finish. I woke Jay up. I said, I need to call the midwife, and we called the midwife. She came over, and I still wasn't dilated, hardly at all. So at this point, she had asked me, do you think you can do this at home? And I really appreciate her language, because she was asking me, you know, can you do this at home? What she really meant is, do you want to go to the hospital? Maybe for pain relief, and in that moment, for me personally, the thought of getting dressed, getting into the car, driving to the hospital, being in a new environment, for me that was just totally overwhelming. And I thought, I'm just going to hang on, I'm gonna do this. So I decided that for me it was best. I was gonna stay at home. Ooh. It kept going, and finally she was like, okay, get into the pool. So got in the pool. It was freezing cold because Jay had filled it up like hours earlier. So literally the midwife and Jay had to get pots and pans and take the water out, throw it to the sink, take the water out, throw it to the sink, and then get the hose from the bathroom to the pool and fill it up. And I was in the pool, I was just putting that hose on my lower back. It was the best feeling. I was so happy. And is in the pool, and I was in the pool for literally about 20 minutes, and the feeling from the contractions into actual like pushing phase, just the transitional phase, was just like sort of so sudden. And the midwife could hear, and she said, oh, that's a different sound, like kind of sound. Oh my gosh. So she was like, this is happening so fast. She checked me. I was about 5 centimeters dilated. She went out to her car, got her tools, her things. When she was away, I had like 2 full-on like contractions per J. He was putting cloths on my back. That really helped, like having cloths, cold cloths at the back of my neck and my lower back really helped. Oh, come here. And it really helped. So she came back in, laid out everything, and yeah, then she essentially helped me deliver my baby. And he came within 40 minutes of me getting into the pool. And just as a side note, like my midwife was a complete like superhero, because she called for backup. They call over here, it's the Kramzorg, and it's assistants and a second midwife, and they came when he had been delivered, and so she delivered him all on her own. She was amazing, because when he came out there was some complications. His cord was around his neck, but she dealt with it so super efficiently and really fast, so he was completely fine. She cut the cord. I had wanted the delayed cutting of the cord, but unfortunately that wasn't, I couldn't do that because the cord was around his neck. Basically the delayed cutting of the cord, that's another thing about Holland. They basically all do that now, and they wait till it stops pulsing, because a lot of the nutrients and blood flow are still going to the baby. So that's a really nice option, but unfortunately I couldn't do that because the cord was around his neck. And then they call it the golden hour, and it's just the best feeling in the whole world. Like she put him in my arms, and just that feeling. It's like everything you've been waiting for is there, and it's just the best feeling in the whole world. It's worth, like, I know it's crazy, but I would do it again. I would do it again. Personally, the beginning of my pregnancy was really harder because I felt so nauseous. Labor in itself, it's one of the most intense, transformative experiences of your whole life. As a woman, it's honestly amazing. Like, I have so much admiration for women, like all over the world, because I just feel that we, as human beings, as women, have the most amazing gift of giving life and delivering life into the world. And in that way, I think, it just changes you as a person. for the better in a way, you know. Yeah, I'm just kind of babbling now, but it was so good because you got here. Yeah. And now he's here and he's 3.5 months old, and I've only made my video now, which is kind of nuts, but here I am. Yeah, if you have any questions or want to share anything, it would be really nice to get your feedback. Or if you have any questions about birth or home births, about natural births, at all, please ask away, leave your comments below. I'm probably going to upload this to YouTube. It'll be my first sort of YouTube video, and I'd love to share more information with you if you'd like on hypnobirthing or home births. I'm also working in the fitness industry, so I would also love to answer your questions regarding pregnancy and training, and also postpartum, because I'm currently on my own journey postpartum, and it would be awesome to share more. Okay, so this is super long already. Thanks if you've made it to the end. Thanks for watching, and see you maybe in the next one.